pliers have been around in one form or another for hundreds of years. But did you know that the grandfather of these pliers was actually originally designed to shoe horses? Well, today we're in Meadville, Pennsylvania, and we're going to show you the amount of heat and power it takes to make a pair of channel locks like these. A good set of pliers is an important part of everybody's toolbox. The process starts with a 1,000-pound block of steel that's machined into a die that's used to stamp or forge the pliers. Joining me today is John Strissy, who's marketing manager here at Channellock. John, how do you machine out this big block of steel to make a pair of pliers?
Well, what we do is you first surface ground the die, and we use electronic computers to etch out the plier that we want to make.
So you have a lot of machining that's going on into this. This feels pretty smooth.
Yes, it is. What we do is before we go to forging, we put a nice polish on it, so when the forge comes apart, the pliers fall out.
John, this is the steel that you use to make pliers. How many pliers can you get out of a rod like this?
Well, depending on the length of the plier, we can get from 3 to 6 pliers from a rod.
Now, is this just any old steel or is this special?
Oh, this is high carbon steel.
Why high carbon?
Well, it makes the plier durable and last longer.
Now today you're going to be making a pair of channel lock pliers like these. It's pretty much a standard in everybody's toolbox.
Yes.
How does the process start?
What we do is we take these rods over to our forge shop, and what we do is put them in the furnace and heat them up to 1,800 degrees. That takes approximately about 15 minutes to do.
Why do you do that?
Well, that softens up the metal for the forging. Where we saw the die blocks before, the forging comes together and forms that plier.
And it looks like it takes a lot of force to do that.
Exactly, 24,000 pounds.
So then from there, what happens next?
After it's forging, we take it over to the trim block, where we take the 2 halves of the plier and trimmed out.
It looks like it takes and uses almost every part of the steel rod.
We take it down to the bare nub.
And then you recycle this?
Exactly, back to our manufacturer.
So John, after this gets forged, what happens next?
Well, we take it over to heat treat, where we anneal it.
Now annealing is a softening process of the metal, right?
Yeah, what we need to do is soften the plier for the machine shop. What we do is soften it up so the machines can precisely cut the metal.
It makes it easier to dig into the steel without dulling your cutters, right?
Exactly, and also makes it faster.
After heat treating, where they harden the steel to make it last longer, it comes over here. And what impresses me about Channellock is that they hand file each and every edge of every cutting tool that they make. Let's go test a few. At this station, they're testing the hardness of the cutting surface. Now, what she is doing here, she is cutting piano wire. Now, piano wire is very hard, harder than any wire that you'd find around your house. What she does, she cuts this and she compares it to the light, and if there's any indentation or holes in the cutter surface, they get rejected. Now here the worker is seeing how sharp the tool is. The idea is that twine is a very fibrous material. It's hard to get a clean cut. So she'll test this in 3 different spots, and if it doesn't make a clean cut, it goes back to be resharpened. After machining and testing, the pliers go on down the line where they're polished and they get their trademark blue handles. John, what is this goo anyway?
What's this called is plastisol. And what happens is we put the pliers on the end of the machine. It takes about 17 minutes to come down at 340 degrees. And then we dip them in this Channellock blue plastisol.
That's plastic, right?
Exactly. And what that does is how long it dwells in the plastisol is how thick the handle is. And then we put it back on the machine at 340 degrees, 17 minutes, and it cures the plastisol to the plier.
And then from there, where does it go?
We take it over to packaging, and we put it in our clamshells and ship it to the stores.
When shopping for tools, you pretty much get what you pay for. You spend a little more money, you're going to get a lot better tool. Let me show you some things to look for when shopping for pliers. First of all, look for one-handed operation. You want to have a tool that opens and closes easily without having to use 2 hands. Secondly, a lot of plier manufacturers, they don't take the time to machine this. This is basically drop forged, so when it goes together, it operates rough. A good pair of pliers like these Channellocks go together because they're machined well and they operate smoothly. So spending a little more money will buy you a lot better tool and make it easier to use.